Pregame Live, presented by Fields Auto Group.
For the first time since May 15th, the Chicago Cubs are back home after going 4-5 on their most recent road trip. Joe Maddon's squad now begins a stretch of 10 straight days at the friendly confines. Today, they welcome the Philadelphia Phillies to town. First pitch scheduled to come your way at 1:20 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Hello, welcome into Cubs Pregame Live, presented by our great partners at the Fields Auto Group. He's Todd Hollingsworth. I'm David Kaplan. 72 hours ago, Cub Nation's in an uproar about the team, the lack of offense. 21 runs, 2 wins later. Things seem to be back on track for the north side.
Well, and that's what taking 2 or 3 in St. Louis does. I mean, you go into the division and you handle your business. It's what the Cubs have done all season long. You look at the great record, the wins, 31 of them. But again, I still stick to the fact that you're taking care of business in your own division. So, yeah, you can look back at that trip and think, okay, we didn't do as well as maybe one thought we should have. But the bottom line is this: you took 2 or 3 in St. Louis, a team in the St. Louis Cardinals that were looking to make some sort of early statement in responding to what the Cubs have been doing to them lately, which is taking them down.
All right, now that they've got 10 straight at Wrigley, that has to be something players look forward to, correct?
Absolutely.
You get home and just get some balance.
Well, certainly. You get back to Wrigley Field, the confines, your work, your routine, your family, your kids, you know, everything else that's normal in your life. Yeah, it seems like they've been doing these 10 on the road, 10 at home. So that's a trade-off. Players don't mind that. You know, if you can get, if you're going to go on for a long, lengthy road trip, as long as you're coming back home and you're having 10 at home, it's a great place to be. You had the day off yesterday, which I think is outstanding. The guys came back, were able to enjoy their families, get away from the game just a little bit, refocus, and get ready for this weekend.
All right, almost time to get interactive with our show. Get your mobile, laptop, or tablet ready. Head to csnchicago.com/vote. In just a few minutes, we'll bring you our live fan vote. Right now, we go to Wrigley Field. Weather's gorgeous, and that's where Kelly Crow is standing by with our Coors Light game report. John Lester looking to bounce back from his worst start of the young season.
Yeah, Cap, a beautiful afternoon here on the north side, and John Lester very clear following his last start. Frustrated with his location. Spoke to him earlier this week, and he said, of course, fastball command and establishing that early this afternoon will be a huge key for him. And going up against a team in the Phillies that really have yet to figure it all out at the plate, so it might be a nice afternoon for him to figure everything out and, of course, bounce back from that last time out. I asked him, though, if it was nice to finally be facing some new faces, a new lineup, and here was his answer.
I'm a visual guy, so when I pitch, it's if I haven't faced a guy a lot, I don't have anything to really go off of except for, a report. So it can be difficult at times. It can benefit the pitcher sometimes. It can benefit the hitter sometimes. So, but being a visual guy, I like to face guys. I like to have recall when I'm on the mound of what I've done in the past to him, what he's done to me in the past. So it can be difficult.
Lineup today. The opener against the Phillies brought to you by Wrigleyville Sports. Dexter Fowler leading things off. Ben Zobrist in the 2-hole. Chris Bryant, Jorge Soler, Matt Caesar in your 3, 4, 5 spots, with Addison Russell and Javi Baez over there at the hot corner hitting 7th. David Ross, John Lester rounding things out, with yesterday, as Holly mentioned, being an off day for the team. Joe Maddon said this was the perfect opportunity to give Anthony Rizzo and Jason Hayward a couple extra days off.
It was a good time to just give him like his little mini all-star break, and then just have him come back fresh tomorrow. So of course we'll use him today if we need it, but I just thought again, this is on of course I'm anticipating a good result, so that you move it forward later in the season, maybe do the same thing again, because it really does rest these guys up.
I've played some first before. I played my freshman year in college. I actually worked out mostly at first base my whole fall leading up into the season, and then I played third base the whole year there. So I've had some experience there working on around the bag, turning the plays, throwing from a different arm slot over there. So I feel comfortable with it, and like you said, I like to be a baseball player, and I guess this is another one of those situations where I get to kind of show that.
So you heard heard Bryant there, pretty comfortable in getting the start at first this afternoon. Of course, we've seen him over there in brief stints already this season. Guys, just let his instincts take over. That's what he said. But one of the things he was most worried about was whether or not that first baseman's glove was broken in yet. Of course, he said third base in his outfield glove has been used plenty this season. So today, an opportunity to break in a new mitt a little bit. How about that?
All right, Kel, we'll check in with you during the game for your game update. See you after the ball game. Thanks a lot.
Sounds good.
All right, so Anthony Rizzo gets 2 days off. What is that like for a guy who's so used to being right in the middle of everything and playing every single day? I was with him at a charity event last night that they did for his foundation. He said, you know what? I'm going to just relax and get ready for Saturday.
I would be willing to admit, and I think Anthony might admit it to everybody, that this is more of a mental day off than a physical one. We know Anthony can play 162 games in a season. This guy is more than physically prepared. I think this is more of a mental day off. We've kind of watched how he's expanded the zone, and we've talked about it just a little bit, some of the issues dealing with at the plate. Now he's hanging in there, and he started to make some strides, certainly in the St. Louis series, got some knocks, went the other way, but collectively just looked like he was a little bit off. And I think more than anything, it's less about the swing, less about who he is, how he's feeling physically, than probably what's going on between the ears sometimes. Sometimes you just get scattered up there, and you think you saw a little bit of that on this road trip. So great opportunity. Remember, Morgan's going today. He's a lefty. You can get some other guys involved in the lineup, and if things go as planned, and basically what Joe's talking about there, what he's hoping for is that the Cubs come out, put some runs on the board, let John Lester settle in, and that you don't end up using Anthony Rizzo today. You get a full day off for him, comes back tomorrow and prepares himself for the rest of this homestand.
Jason Hayward also struggling. He was just 3 for 25 on the road trip. Of course, crashed into the wall, has been dealing with a bulky wrist. So it gives a chance for him to get 2 more days to get the wrist and the body feeling better.
Well, you also have the liberties. When you win 31 ball games, when you're out in front playing as well as this team is and have a nice, comfortable lead in the division, you can rest guys and help get guys right. Like I said, I mean, this might be a little physical, a little mental for Jason Hayward. We've talked about the struggles at the plate, working through some things. Today can be a bit of a work day. They know that they're not going to start today. Come on and work some things. Maybe do some video work, see where the swing's at, see what you're looking to accomplish. But again, a lot of times, I would go through struggles, and sitting back and just watching the game from the dugout gave you a new perspective. So maybe that's exactly what you're hoping for here. Again, we talked about the lefty being out there today. So an advantage, I think, in fact, that this team is playing so well right now that you can rest guys, even here in May. They're playing good baseball as a team. They've been winning consistently. You can get guys in and out of there. Most teams in the league aren't, most managers aren't willing to bench their best players when, you're a 500 team or you're 4 or 5 games over 500. The Cubs have played at such a level right now. You've got this ability to kind of rest these guys.
All right, Chris Bryant gets the start at first base. 11 for 37 with 4 home runs on the 9-game trip. And it gets him out of his, normal routine where it's third base most of the time and a little outfield. Throw him into another new position.
But I think Chris Bryant embraces this.
He loves it.
He absolutely loves it, right. I've heard it from him myself. I think this is really, really interesting. He's swinging the bat particularly well. It's funny because, I was looking at the lineup today, and we know, Chris is going to get the start over first base. And, your initial thought is, isn't this what Ben Zobrist is supposed to be doing with this team, right? He's the guy that carries the multiple gloves. He's done this throughout his career. Ben Zobrist, we've seen him in the outfield just a little bit, but Chris Bryant has actually been the one kind of doing what Ben Zobrist does. He enjoys the challenge of a new position. He's got no issues with it. It gives him a fresh perspective. He likes it. He's swinging the bat right now. You don't want to get his bat out of the lineup. You want to keep it in there as well as he's been swinging it. You talked about all the long balls, using the entire field. With that being said, first base is not that hard, Cap. I've told you my story a million times. I got thrown over there 2 days before to take ground balls, and I was starting the next 2 days later when Eric Karros went down with a jammed finger. And they told me, listen, knock it down, flip it to the pitcher, you should be good. Yeah, it's a little easier over there, first base.
Knock it down on a knee and let it hit your body.
Feel like a goalie.
All right, we are going to take our first break on Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Phillies Auto Group. Cubs enter today's action with 31 wins. That's the best in all of Major League Baseball. So who has been the team's most valuable player? We'll be asking you to vote. We'll get Holly's thoughts when we come back.
Chicago's favorite spot for prime steaks, the freshest seafood, and world-famous Florida stone crab. Come on down to Joe's.
They treat you like you're their best friend or your family. It's almost like they can't do enough for you.
I'm Dan Fields of the Fields Auto Group. We simply treat people the way we want to be treated.
I get a personal treatment here, and
I recommend it. It includes our free loaners, free car washes, and cafes. It's all part of the Fields Matters program.
And now, during Drive and Discover, lease a new 2016 Jeep Patriot Latitude 4x2 for only $159 per month for 36 months at Fields Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram at the Glen in Glenview.
Come by Discount Tire this Friday and Saturday for incredible Memorial Day deals. Get Visa prepaid cards for up to $320 when you buy select tire and wheel packages with your Discount Tire credit card. Thank you. Discount Tire.
Let's get this thing started.
Chicago's Country Music Festival returns to the lakefront. Windy City Lake Shake, starring Jason Aldean, Tim McGraw, Lady Antebellum, plus Brooks and Dunn, Sam Hunt, and many more. Windy City Lake Shake. 3 days of country music, June 17th, 18th, and 19th. Single-day passes and 3-day passes are on sale now at lakeshakefestival.com.
Hate shopping for a used car because you feel like you might be buying someone else's problem? Well, with a Continental certified car, you don't have to worry. Just look for this. Buy with confidence knowing that the car has been through an 80-point quality and safety inspection. Comes with a 30-day, 1,000-mile warranty. And get this, a 3-day exchange policy. So check out our huge selection of Continental certified cars only at Continental Motors. 10 brands, 8 locations, thousands of choices. Only at Continental Motors and ContinentalMotors.com.
Pizza is perfect. Pizza with bacon cheeseburger on it, way, way more perfect.
Papa's Bacon Cheeseburger Pizza is back. And try our new Mushroom Swiss Burger Pizza. Just $10 each for a large.
PapaJohns.com.
Honda knows, in today's hectic world, it's good to leave everything behind. But when it comes to your car, you want to get everything you can. It's why we put a multi-angle rear-view camera, text message reader, and dual-zone climate control standard in every 2016 Accord, with a redesigned body to match. Nothing compares to a Honda. The restyled Accord, the best-selling car in America.
Cubbies have scored 256 runs this season. That's the most in the majors. Phillies have scored just 155. That is second worst. But Philadelphia has just 5 fewer wins than the Cubs do as these two teams get ready for a weekend battle at the friendly confines. We have the opener for you right here on Comcast Sports. Cubs Pregame Live is presented by the Fields Auto Group. Time for our Cubs fan poll. Vote. Visit CSNChicago.com. You do not need a special app. Just visit that website. You can cast your vote and get interactive with Holly and with me. Today's question is, who has been the MVP for the Cubs so far this season? Your choices are Jake Arrieta, Chris Bryant, Dexter Fowler, or Ben Zobrist. Holly, who you got, dog?
That's a tough one. I'm going to... It's right. We've only got a half an hour. I was thinking on this one. I'm going to stick with Dexter. Dexter hasn't given me a reason to kind of back off, and I guess that's really what it comes down to for me. When you think about the entire story, story for Dexter Fowler this year, it's been start to finish. He was so big for us in April. He's been big for us, obviously, in May. It's continued on. Ben has got it hot as a firecracker. Jake is Jake. But again, you know, the whole MVP thing, you know, you can only vote for players, right? So you can't vote for pitchers. So that's the angle. That's the angle I'll use. No, it's just a safe answer, Nelly. Back off, pal. Listen, Dexter Fowler's, that's my go-to guy right now.
I am going to vote for Ben Zobrist, and I think it's a layup. Ben Zobrist has been magnificent all season long, offensively especially, but defensively as well. He's a consummate professional, and I think it's an easy case to say Ben Zobrist is so far your team MVP.
I'm blocking your shot. No, that's not a layup, pal. No way. No, Ben's been outstanding. No joke. It's a great question. There's a lot of great answers. I don't think anybody's wrong when you really look at it. You know, the only argument that you make with Jake is not that Jake hasn't done his job and been one of the best in the game, is that he pitches every fifth day, and I think that's just kind of the impression you're left with. For me, just, you know, going back to it, I don't even know why I want to bring it up, but we were kind of talking about it the other day. You know, Ben just got off to a little bit of a different start. Dexter's been doing it since the beginning. I would make the case that he's been doing it all season long and he's not backed off, where Ben really has caught fire, maybe even taken it to a higher level, but again, smaller sample size.
All right, we'll see. Cast your votes again, CSNChicago.com. And again, I think the Ben Zobrist is an easy winner, but Dexter gets the win at 30.
It's funny how you do that, isn't it? Yeah.
So there you go. Dexter Fowler is your winner. As we mentioned earlier, the Phillies are doing pretty well this season. They're 5 games over 500, 2.5 games out of the lead in the East. How are the Phillies, who everyone at the start of the season said, Tank City, they're doing what the Cubs did in 12, 13, 14. How are they doing this?
Yeah, they're supposed to be in a rebuild mode, right? Rebuilding teams, and Cubs, we know all about this, right? Go back a few years, remember how it felt, piling up the 90-loss seasons. That was what was supposed to have been happening with this team. Now, I've had a few conversations with a few of their guys, and what they've told me is this. They separate the days very well. Remember, think what Joe Madden talks about. Don't worry about yesterday, don't worry about tomorrow, live in the moment. They live by that philosophy. Also, when you talk about a negative 31 cap, I know that we put up that board right there. We were talking about that the Cubs have scored 100 more runs. They actually have a negative run differential, yet they're +5 in the win column. Negative 31. The opposition scored more runs against them. How do you explain it? Well, number one, good starting pitching. They've got that. They've been doing it real good. Jeanmar Gomez has been closing out games. 17 saves already. But I'll take it a step further. They're 14-4 cap in one-run ball games.
Well, that's a big-time stat. It's time for Built for Business, presented by Comcast Business. Today, we're focusing on one of the Phillies' best hitters, Odubel Herrera. This season, center fielder hitting .327, 5 bombs, 17 knocked in, and an on-base percentage of .440. Comcast Business, Built for Business. Holly, he's hit safely 28 of 31 games since being moved to the leadoff spot.
Yeah, a lot of action up there. Uses the entire field. Had a big home run in that Tiger series in their one win, which was the last game. Really the one thing that stands out to me, I've known that this young man's got power. We saw him last year. If you remember, he made that crazy catch that helped secure the Cole Hamels no-hitter. That was Odubel Herrera. Offensively, he's a very good player. The one thing that really stands out, last year he had, I think it was 28 walks on the entire season. This year, as their leadoff hitter, that's the home run, by the way, and what a bat flip that was. 35 walks already, people. 35 walks in this young season. He's on pace for 100 walks as a leadoff hitter. That's starting to feel Ricky Henderson-like. But again, one of their key performers, one of their big-time players. It's in the one spot in their lineup. He's their leadoff hitter. Doesn't always steal a whole lot of bases, but he gets on base very regularly.
Yeah, that was quite a bat flip.
How about it, huh? There was a lot of talk over it.
Make baseball fun again. Take a look at the starting lineup today for the Phillies and manager Pete Buchanan. There's Herrera, Freddie Galvis, Maikel Franco, Tommy Joseph, Carlos Ruiz is catching, Hernandez, Goto, Morgan, and Peter Borjos, who brings real speed, but not a great hitter.
Well, Maikel Franco, that's the other guy that you got to keep your eyes on. The two young guys, Herrera and Franco, are absolutely that. He is their power source in the lineup, to be respected. Number 3 hitter in their lineup. He's the only guy on this team, and interestingly enough, he's got 26 RBIs, the only guy over 20 RBIs on this team. So the run production, the one guy with 20-plus runs is Herrera. The one guy with 20-plus RBIs is Franco. Good hitter, will use all fields, has power to all fields. So again, the other guy that you have to pay attention to in this lineup. But that's it. I mean, we start talking about the collective effort by the Philadelphia Phillies. You've got to eliminate those two guys if you plan on keeping this lineup down.
All right, we have to take another timeout as we lead you up to Cubs baseball here on Comcast Sports Show. We come back, we'll give you an example of how much the Chicago Cubs have changed in the last 3 years. You won't believe it. Plus, let's take a look at the pitching matchup. John Lester looks to bounce back from his worst start of the season, notch his 5th victory of the campaign.
This Cubs injury report is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy, taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
We wanted to prove the value of Nissan's Intelligent Safety Shield technologies.
Hey, you want to go for a ride?
So we enlisted some everyday experts.
I'm a firefighter. I'm a nurse.
With rear cross traffic alert. It worked. Blind spot warning. And forward emergency braking that could stop your car for you. Get to Nissan's Safety Today event and save for a limited time with a $189 per month lease on the 2016 Nissan Altima or the 2016 Nissan Rogue.
We might be out of a job.
Shop your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com today.
We are the Coors Brewing Company, and our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. A beer proud enough to wear our name in big, red, scripted letters. That's why we lager, filter, and package cold. Because we believe every climb deserves a refreshing finish. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
The
Anthony Rizzo Family Foundation and the Bono family have teamed up to knock cancer out of the park. Order your Italian beef the Rizzo way, and Bono will donate to my charity. I'm proud to be working with the Cubs and the Bono family, 2 Chicago originals.
Order it the Rizzo way at your local Bono restaurant.
Ride by Yamaha, the innovative dual-throttle handlebar control system that creates a fun, intuitive driving experience unlike anything else on the water. Ride is easy to use, delivering enhanced handling, smooth deceleration, and easy docking in tight spaces. There's only one way to ride, and it's only available on Yamaha Wave Runners. Yamaha, the #1 brand on the water. See your Yamaha Wave Runner dealer for great financing offers and additional incentives.
The BMW i8 surround view camera system keeps you fully aware of the road around you. Even when you're driving the BMW X3. This and other BMW i8 innovations available in the BMW X3. We only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine. Visit your Chicagoland BMW centers today.
Today's CSN bar of the game, presented by Coors Light, is Bernie's, 3663 North Clark. Holly loves that spot, so do I.
Hi, Bernie.
We're heading to Wrigley. Watch today's CSN broadcast at Bernie's. See the complete list of the CSN bars of the game, presented by Coors Light. Visit CSNChicago.com. All right, welcome back to Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. Let's take a look at today's pitching matchup, brought to you by Bona, the original Italian beef. It's John Lester taking the mound. He'll be opposed by lefty Adam Morgan. Dueling lefties, Morgan 1-2 with a .561 earned run average. John Lester 4-3 with a .260 earning. His last outing, one he'd rather forget, his 2 2/3 innings in San Francisco last Saturday, giving up 6 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks on Saturday evening.
Well, Lester was in the middle of the plate, and it's as simple as that. He had bad command. The 3 walks certainly stands out. Matt Cain snapping his 0 for 47 against John Lester. That's just uncharacteristic. What's that tell you? He made some mistakes out over the plate, and you're watching them right now. A couple pitches up in the zone. When he had to make a pitch, he was just there. And again, I think it's a real good opportunity for him today, as we talked about this Phillies lineup just a little bit, that they're not as talented as the San Francisco Giants. San Francisco Giants are one of the better offenses in the league. I'm not saying that you don't respect the Philadelphia Phillies, but if you make your pitches, you should have better results. And that's what it speaks to today. If you hang out down there, I think he's going to get the result that he wanted. He had to get the ball down. That's the other thing that you would have noticed in the San Francisco start, was that he was up in the zone. So I think he's going to be on his game.
He also felt, I believe, that he was getting squeezed a little bit.
Well,
he had a couple pitches that he thought were right there and didn't get called.
Well, that happens, and it does. And the question that it raises is, do you get more towards the middle of the plate and up, or do you work more off the corners? And I certainly understand the feeling. I've seen it with pitchers that I've played with, and certainly as a hitter, what the strike zone is. So you have to make the adjustment, but you still have to find a way to stay out of the middle of the plate, because these are big league hitters. That Giants team is very, very talented, but the mistakes that were made are, you're going to get hit around the yard if you live there. I don't care who you are.
As for Morgan, he is the Phillies' 5th starter. He's made 2 good starts, 2 bad starts, and 1 so-so start this season. Last time out, tough luck loss in Atlanta, allowed 2 runs in 6 innings, and a 2-zip shutout loss.
Yeah, one of his best starts of the season. Now, he pitches to contact, and that's what you need to know here. Cubs hitters have some history against him. They put up some numbers against him last year. I think it's a real good opportunity. As you mentioned, Cap, 5.61 ERA. Now, his last 4 starts, what does this tell you? Combined last 4 starts, 8 walks, 8 strikeouts. I mean, that's just a lot of contact. So, again, this is a guy, 92 miles an hour on the fastball, 90-92, slider, curveball change. He will make pitches, but I do not expect him to, waltz through the lineup 2 times today without the Cubs doing some serious damage against him.
Right. You want to know how much things have changed around the confines? You see all the construction, you see the new clubhouse, but how about the lineup? Take a look at the Cubs starting lineup 3 years ago today. This thanks to our buddy Gabriel Benson on Twitter. Julio Bourbon leading off. Starlin Castro, Anthony Rizzo. Soriano in left. Hairston the DH. Wellington Castillo catching. Cody Ransom at third. Ryan Sweeney in right. Darwin Barney at second. And Jeff Samardzija was the pitcher. And that game, 7-0. Samardzija 2-hitter.
5 of those guys, I think, are out of, well, at least out of the big leagues. They might still be playing, but very interesting. Starlin Castro and Anthony Rizzo. Starlin's moved on to New York. Anthony's still doing his thing here, but a very interesting reflection of where this organization has grown to in 3 years. You wouldn't realize. I mean, it's pretty amazing. You see the turnover and how quickly it does happen with a major league team.
And how funny, 3 years ago today is that lineup, and then you add on another 6 weeks or so, and the Cubs make a trade and are able to get Jake Arrieta and Pedro Strop.
Right, and what were we, well, even fans at home, I mean, what were we thinking then with the Strop and Arrieta trade? I mean, we were kind of...
There were people tweeting going, well, Jeff Samardzija went to the media that day and said, I don't see how you get better giving up on Scott Feldman.
Right. I mean,
how'd that work out?
Yeah, well, we'll let it go. I think Jake has made his case.
Yes. We have to take one final time out on Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. When we come back, we'll each pick our key performers. Holly will give us his keys to the game as the North Siders go for win number 32 on the season.
To the core, Crown Royal Regal Apple flavored whiskey.
Look, this isn't easy for me either, but it just feels right.
This isn't how we raised you.
You never wanted to try it?
Enough.
You must have known I was a little different.
Not this different.
Start your own legacy with the power of Infinity. Lease the QX50 for $319 a month at your Chicagoland Infinity retailer.
We built this thingy. We built this thingy on tech that's old. We built this thingy. But we built...
Yeah, Xfinity built this newer thingy that lets me search with my voice.
We're good. Don't fall for DirecTV. Find shows faster with the X1 voice remote, only from Xfinity. Sign up today or get started with this great offer. Call or go online today.
Hello, beautiful. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hi, Anthony. How much did my discount double check save me?
About $150.
Done.
I don't have State Farm, but insurance, find me money.
I got you $1.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you with unexpected savings. That's getting to a better state.
Hey, Ralph Punzel.
Oh, hey, Ronnie.
Where are you headed?
Great Clips.
You're getting a haircut?
I checked in already. Using their online check-in.
I'm dying to check.
It saves you time.
You're getting a haircut.
Why? Thinking about applying to astronaut school.
That's cool.
Okay, I'll see you, Ronnie.
Save time every time. Download the online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Smooth to the core. Crown Royal Regal Apple flavored whiskey.
Fields Auto Group keys to the game. Here's Todd.
All right, here you go. At second glance, you say, what am I going here for? Well, at first glance, listen, Adam Morgan has kind of gotten into a pattern. Really, one thing that stands out is that first time through the lineup, he's got the ability to make pitches and get decent results. The second time through the lineup, he has had major struggles. Fourth inning, the batting average against 368. The fifth inning, get a load of this. In the fifth inning, he's got batting average against 471. Runners in scoring position this year, 360 batting average against him, 5 walks, only 1 strikeout. So the stretch, he's had issues. I'd love to see the Cubs jump all over him, but playing off the day off, having not seen him since last year, maybe this thing kind of warms itself up, but there's just no way he doesn't get, that he gets through this lineup 2 times without the Cubs doing, as I said earlier, a little bit of damage against him. Pick your spots, talking John Lester. We've talked about it. Herrera and Franco are the 2 guys in this lineup that you have to know where they are, certainly where they're at in the lineup. You're not trying to set up opportunities for them to have the kind of impact that they can have. They are their 2 best players Yeah, isolate them. That's exactly what you do. You tackle them, you pitch to them, but make sure that you make their pitches. Don't let them have too much of an impact. The rest of this lineup, listen, you can navigate it. You can pick your spots. You can go at guys or pick and choose. If there's a hot hitter, you don't want to go at that. Today you can go at another guy, and don't wait around. That's the other thing. As we mentioned earlier, the Cubs. You want to get this offense rolling, and what I'm talking about is getting an early lead and playing with that lead. This Philadelphia Phillies team is resilient. 14-4 in one-run ball games. Actually 4-0 in extra inning games, so they want to get that offense going.
All right, time for our key performers. You have a 12-5 lead.
13.
I think it's 12.
13.
You get to go first.
13. Caesar. I'm going with Caesar today. He's in the 5 spot in the lineup. I like it.
I'm going to go with Javi Baez. He starts at third. Javi's got a pretty good career track record against Adam Morgan in limited work. I'm going to go Javi Baez to take one out of the
I like the pick. Caesar's going to get it done.
All right. Thank you for watching. Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. We go now to Wrigley Field, where Len Casper and Jim DeShays will bring you the play-by-play call of today's action. Gentlemen, take it away, boys.
All right, Cap Holly, thank you very much. Summer has arrived, and the Cubs will be here for the next 10 days.
It snuck into town while we were gone, didn't it? No more parkas, no more ski caps. Warm weather means the ball usually jumps pretty well here at Wrigley.
Let's take a look at a 4-5 road trip. It was a much tougher trip than people think because of the time zone changes over the weekend.
Yeah, you start in the Midwest, you go out to San Francisco, and just as you begin to get acclimated, you swing back to St. Louis. All in all, not a horrible result. Salvaging the road trip by winning those final 2 days in St. Louis. Cubs really struggled to score early on that trip, but the last 2 days, the bats broke out in a big way, scoring 12 and 9 against St. Louis pitching.
One thing we've learned about Joe Madden, he very strategically picks off days for his regulars. We're going to hear from him in a second, but Anthony Rizzo gets his first day off this year. That's a nice break to have 2 full days for a regular.
Yeah, and that's what managers like to do. You piggyback that scheduled off day in the calendar, then give the guy the next day or the one preceding that off day. Got a lefty going for the Phillies today, so it makes sense to give Big Riz a little bit of a break.
Let's hear from Joe about Anthony Rizzo getting his first day off here in 2016.
This is something I was looking forward to doing. When I was with Tampa Bay, I used to do this with Carl all the time to try to take advantage of either the front or the back side of a day off to give him 2 days off. I think it's great the way it all played out with the left-hander today, Morgan, for them. I thought it was, and then we play consecutively after this, hopefully barring any rainouts. So it was a good time to just give him like his little mini all-star break, and then just have him come back fresh tomorrow. So of course we'll use him today if we need it. But I just thought, again, this is of course I'm anticipating a good result, so that you move it forward later in the season, maybe do the same thing again. Because it really does rest these guys up. And then Jason, the same thing, coming off of injury, 2 consecutive games. Let's do the same thing for him right now. A bunch of games coming up after this consecutively. So let's take advantage of the moment. Looking at the lineup today, you see a bunch of guys in different spots, but I really like the defense a lot, outfield and infield. So when you're able to move people around, give guys days off, and still feel good about your defense, that's a good thing.
So here are the starters today. Left-hander Adam Morgan will go for the Phillies. He's had a tough month of May. John Lester with a perfect record against the Phillies, although they have a much different club this year than a lot of teams he used to face. And JD, while the Cubs are not really looking at the standings right now, they still have the best record in baseball. The Pirates are playing well. They're within 4.5, so it'd be nice to have a big homestand here.
Yeah, the Phillies are playing winning baseball primarily because of their starting pitching. They have a very hard time scoring. So this is a series you certainly expect to win and possibly sweep.
And remember, last year the Phillies came in here and I think we're 28 games under 500 and swept the Cubs. So you take nobody.
No, indeed, and that's a series that Cole Hamels threw the no-hitter. The last time Jake Arrieta suffered a loss.
Pete Mackanin, a Chicago native, is the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. More on that story as we continue with Kelly Krall. John Lester pitching for the Cubs today. Cubs baseball on CSN.
Cubs Pregame Live is presented by Fields Auto Group. Fields matters because you matter. See Fields first. FieldsAuto.com.
They treat you like you're their best friend or your family. It's almost like they can't do enough for you.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields of the Fields Auto Group. We simply treat people the way we want to be treated.
I get a personal treatment here, and I recommend it.
It includes our free loaners, free car washes, and cafes. It's all part of the Fields Matters program.
I'm looking for the best price, and Fields gives you that. That's why we've bought so many cars from them.
Fields Matters because you matter.
FieldsAuto.com.
More lemonade, please.
Vacation's over. Welcome back.
Put the vacation back in summer. Enjoy a medium McCafe lemonade for $2, medium frappe or smoothie for $3, or any size sweet tea or soft drink for just $1 at McDonald's.
This is my dad, and he's an advertising executive. Hi, everybody. This is my mom, and she's a dental technician. Hi, this is my mom, and she's an algebra teacher.
What would your child say if you never received your degree? Kickstart your career by finding the right college for you at Degree Solutions for free. Log on now and receive a free career success kit that includes the 5 secrets to increasing your earnings potential. Did you know that people with a degree can earn almost twice as much as those with just a high school diploma? At Degree Solutions, we'll match you with degree programs, classes, and schools for free.
I'm really proud of you, Mom.
Get matched to the right school now for free at startaprogramnow.com. Plus, we'll give you a free career success kit that includes 5 secrets to increasing your earnings potential. Log on now to startaprogramnow.com. That's startaprogramnow.com. Startaprogramnow.com. Startaprogramnow.com.
Sportsnet Central every night at 6:30, 10, 10:30, and midnight.
We welcome you back here to Wrigley Field. Cubs and Phillies getting ready to open up a 3-game set on a beautiful Friday afternoon here on Comcast Sportsnet. Thanks for joining us. Of course, the last time the Phillies were in town, Pete McKinnon was a interim skipper. But of course, after the year, Philadelphia very happy with the job he did, so signed through this season. And this is a very special trip for him, homecoming of sorts, if you will. A lot of friends and family still in the area, and had a chance to catch up with him just a few minutes ago and find out what stops he has to go to while he's back in town.
Always great to come back home to Chicago. I love the city. Grew up on the south side. Love Wrigley Field. Love the food. Good to be back.
Are there any specific places you go for food when you're back?
Well, I like Portillo's. I always, when I come to Chicago, I have to have a Chicago hot dog. I have to have an Italian beef and a South Side thin crust pizza. I prefer that, even though I like deep dish. I prefer the South Side sausage and cheese and an occasional White Castle.
That's all in one meal then?
No, I try to make a point of getting a little bit of everything.
Space it out throughout the 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, from, it wasn't all that long ago. I mean, you were over here kind of thinking you'd be taking over the helm, and it's a lot different looking group these days. What do you think of this group of young men?
Very formidable team. I mean, these guys have a lot of everything. They've got good pitching, defense. They've got dangerous hitters up and down the lineup. It's always tough to come in here and play. Last year, we got lucky. We swept them when they were on. They weren't swinging the bats that well at the time, but I don't foresee that happening. If we want to beat them this series, we're going to have to really play well.
A Brother Rice graduate doing some good things over there with that Philadelphia ball club, and he said he doesn't expect a no-hitter this time around, guys, or a sweep. Knows his guys will have to play pretty well if they're going to come out of here with any wins this weekend. Let's go ahead and send it back up to you two in the booth.
All right, Kelly, thank you. Pete McKinnon, a great story. He is a baseball lifer, and you always root for guys like him.
Yeah, a long-time coach. He's had an opportunity to be an interim manager, but this is really the first club he's had a chance to kind of control the reins. And from the people I've talked to, he's done a real nice job. Has a light touch with this young club, but when needs to, he can get in the guy's face as well. So good story here, Pete McKinnon. I would suggest mixing in a salad, however, Pete. It's a high-stress job you got, man. You can't live on pizza and hot dogs.
How about a Caesar salad with extra dressing? Let's check out the Phillies pitching staff. You mentioned them earlier. The bullpen in particular has been great. Genmar Gomez, the closer, has been near perfect, and here are their rankings in the NL.
Yeah, really the key to their success has been their pitching. The starting pitching has been solid, if not spectacular. The bullpen, as you mentioned, Gomez and Neris really good at the back end. And they've won a lot of one-run games. That's been a key for them.
Let's send it down to the field as Wayne Messmer is set for our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining the team on the field today is Commander Lance Thompson, a native of Kewanee, Illinois, who recently became the former commanding officer on the submarine USS Chicago SSN 721 at Naval Base Guam. The city of Chicago has declared May 27th Lance Thompson Day in honor of the captain of the USS Chicago. At this time, please remain standing and join Wayne Messmer as he honors America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
What if you didn't have a car payment this summer? Would you go on a relaxing getaway or an exciting summer adventure? Well, the Summers on Us sales event from Kia is back with 0 payments due for 5 months, including your first 2 months on us. Plus, get 0% financing on the one-of-a-kind Soul, the high-tech Forte hatchback and sedan, or the stylish Optima and Optima Hybrid. And spend your savings having more summer fun. Hurry into your Kia dealer today for the Summers on Us sales event.
Rebecca told Taco Bell she'd fold 1,000 paper swans. Brian said he'd wear 55 pounds of salmon in bear country. And Patrick, he said he'd literally do anything. Fans promised to do lots of things to bring back their favorite burritos.
Oh, I was just kidding!
A promise is a promise, Patrick. Grab the cheesy double beef or the beefy crunch burrito for just $1. Fan favorite burritos. Get them before they're gone.
We are the Coors Brewing Company, and our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. A beer proud enough to wear our name in big, red, scripted letters. That's why we lager, filter, and package cold. Because we believe every climb deserves a refreshing finish. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Sometimes it's first tracks on fresh powder. Sometimes it's finding a secret surf spot or an undiscovered trail off a dirt road. Then again, sometimes happiness is having the road all to yourself. Introducing the all-wheel drive Mazda CX-3.
Baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. Big crowd on hand as we get your holiday weekend off to an early start. A Friday matinee, it's the Philadelphia Phillies and the Chicago Cubs. And welcome to beautiful Wrigley Field. Summer has arrived. Jim DeShays and Len Casper. The Cubs coming off a 4-5 road trip. They finished it by winning the final 2 games in St. Louis. And the bright spots offensively were Ben Zobrist and Chris Bryant.
Yeah, 2 guys that have been consistent performers all season long. Ben Zobrist has just been lights out. He's riding a 12-game hitting streak. On the road trip, batted .444. And Chris Bryant providing the power on the trip, hitting for .297 batting average, 4 long balls, including a 3-run homer on Wednesday against the Cardinals.
About 2 months into the season, you'd have to say certainly in the National League, the biggest surprise has been the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, expectations very low for this club coming in. They lost 99 games last year, the most in Major League Baseball, but there they are right in the middle of the pack in the NL East, just 2.5 games behind the Washington Nationals. It's been starting pitching, it's been a solid bullpen, and a fair bit of luck. They don't score a lot of runs. It'd be very difficult for them to sustain this pace, given that they're right near the bottom of the league in runs scored.
The Cubs are 14-6 here at home. They will play at Wrigley Field each of the next 10 days. They'll kick off the homestand next.
Memorial Day is the unofficial start of summer. And when you visit your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealer, the official start of something special. That's because we're celebrating Memorial Day weekend with big deals on America's best value. Like the award-winning Honda Accord, just $189 a month or 0.9% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. But don't wait for big deals on America's best value. Check out ChicagolandHondaDealers.com today.
Bill Jacobs Mini online feedback.
The most amazing car buying experience ever.
Customer service was excellent. I'd recommend them in a heartbeat.
Great experience.
Right now at Bill Jacobs Mini, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on all 2016 Mini Countrymen. That's Bill Jacobs Mini.
Honestly, the best experience I've ever had buying a car.
Visit us at Bill Jacobs Mini in Naperville
and online at BillJacobsMini.com.
Drive and discover during 1 week to Jeep at Feeney Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Elgin. Get our lowest prices on our entire inventory. Cars, trucks, minivans, and more Jeeps than we need. All with 0% financing available. Look at this 2016 Wrangler, just $299 a month. Or a 2016 Ram 1500 Quad Cab, $279 a month. Both with zero due. Or save $7,000 on this new Grand Cherokee. Find it at Feeney, FeeneyAutos.com.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Ford, inviting you to check out their fuel-efficient lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency. Low fares. Nothing to hide.
Back here at Wrigley Field, and ex-Cub Mickey Morandini, the Phillies first base coach, exchanging the lineup card with 2-0 Tim Buss, the Cubs strength coach. Brought out the lineup card Tuesday night at St. Louis for the first time in his career, and the Cubs put up 21 runs over the next 2 days. So if that happens in baseball, you keep that job.
Yeah, you got to ride the hot hand. Sabermetrics can't explain it, but Tim Buss is on fire.
So hopefully we don't have to deal with any rain here today, as Bob Davidson, the home plate umpire, will call balls and strikes and other things. Lance Barrett is at first, Sean Barber at second, and Dale Scott, the crew chief, is at third. And a nice hand as the Cubs take the field behind left-hander John Lester. Let's get the Phillies Southwest starting lineup. They're scoring 3.3 runs per game. That's second to last in the major leagues. Odubel Herrera, the center fielder, leads it off. He's had a very good year. Freddie Galvis at short. Mikel Franco at third. Former minor league catcher with the Giants, Tommy Joseph, grabbing a lot of playing time at first for Ryan Howard. Carlos Ruiz is the catcher. Cesar Hernandez at second. Tyler Goodell, Rule 5 pick. He's in left. They bat the pitcher 8. That's Morgan, with Peter Borges in right, batting 9th.
A little different look for the Cubs defensively this afternoon. You see Soler in left, Fowler in center. Matt Caesar gets a start in right. Day off for Jason Hayward. Baez and Russell on the left side of the infield. Zobrist at second. And over there at first base, you see Chris Bryant. He made one start there last year. David Ross is behind the plate, and the Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is the big lefty John Lester. Start number 10 for John this afternoon, 4-3 with a 2.60 ERA, coming off his shortest outing of the season, 2 2/3, 6 hits, 5 runs at San Francisco. And in that start, he threw just 75 pitches, so you know he's ready to rock and roll here this afternoon.
Lights are on. Overcast conditions. And a lot of kids are already done for the school year. School's out for summer.
That one's stuck in my head now.
So here is Odubel Herrera to lead it off. Cubs at 31-14, best record in baseball. Phillies 26-21, third place in the East. And lefty to lefty, and a first pitch strike. And we'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on Interstate Communications in Warren and Madison County, Iowa.
They certainly can't point the finger at Herrera for the Phillies' offensive struggles. He's having an outstanding year so far. .440 on base percentage. He has tripled his walk rate from last year.
Swing and a miss. And it's 1-2 on him. Excellent month so far, killing right-handed pitching. And that will be a foul ball to left, just foul. He hasn't been bad against lefties, getting on base at a .393 clip against southpaws. He nearly had an extra base hit to start the game. Kind of weird, the wind is blowing in at the moment. You know, it's a hot day near the lake when it's 76 degrees and it feels hot, and we've got a bit of a lake breeze at 8 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's kind of day where you anticipate the wind blowing out, but right now that's not the case. Herrera hit .297 last year with the Phillies. This is his first year as a big leaguer and a high average hitter throughout his minor league career. But the thing that he hardly walked at all last year. And that's become a big part of his game. So apparently he's one of these guys that goes, okay, you need me to do that? I can do that.
He has run it full. 3-2. Switch hitting Freddie Galvis is on deck. Lester's payoff pitch, and we'll try it once more. Only matinee in Major League Baseball. Everything else will be later tonight.
Saw a good look there. That cut fastball from Lester. The grip off center, imparting that spin, breaking it away from the left-handed hitter.
Pitch number 8.
Yeah, this guy will give you a tough AB. You'll see a lot of pitches. Talk about his ability to work walks. He's got a little flair to his game.
A big 3-run homer on Wednesday in their win at Detroit. And a fly ball out in the deep left. Soler's back to the warning track, and he makes the catch in front of the ivy. It looks plush and very green.
Might be time to plant the tomatoes. Get the corn in the ground.
Galvis in his 5th year in the majors will step in. A foul strike on him.
Galvis, a solid defender. He caddied there for Jimmy Rollins, getting a chance to play every day.
Their top prospect, J.P. Crawford, is a shortstop. Possibility he could be here at some point this season. They've improved their farm system quite a bit here over the last year or so. 1-2 on them. Their team president is former Cub president and general manager Andy McPhail.
Yeah, I would think, and if you talk to Andy, you talk to Pete McCannon, anybody in that Philly front office, they have to be surprised by this team's performance to this point in the season, at least the one-loss record.
McCannon has Cub ties in addition to being a Chicago native as Galvis strikes out. So 2 down here in the Phillies first. It's Mikel Franco. Pete McCannon played briefly in the Cubs system back in the mid-'80s. And later managed in the Cubs minor league chain for 5 years. His first year was in Peoria, 1985. He managed Greg Maddux and Rafael Palmeiro. Maddux was their opening day starter that year. I want to ask Pete at some point if he can remember opening day 1985 in the Midwest League, and if he thought that day, I am watching a future Hall of Famer. The easy answer now would be, of course I did.
He would say, no, I didn't know, but I knew he was something special.
bench coach, an ex-Cub, Larry Bowa. 1-2. Skies have darkened a fair amount since we started.
So the question, there's 95 for Lester. He's feeling a little fresh here this afternoon. Has there ever been a manager at any time in baseball history at the minor league level, especially the low minor leagues, who could say, I'm looking at a future Hall of Famer?
Yeah. In hindsight, yes. But at the time, who knows? Nice job, John Lester. A 1-2-3 start.
Hey, Chicago, when did paying for airfare become so unfair? At Southwest, we believe in transparency. Transparency means we don't dream up ways we can trick you into paying more. It's why we still let 2 bags fly free and don't have change fees. So our low fares stay low. Just the way you like it.
Here's something to shout from the mountaintop. Cricket's plans start at $35 a month after $5 auto pay credit, with more 4G LTE coverage nationwide than T-Mobile or Sprint. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
I solemnly swear that my KFC $20 fill-up will fill your family of 4 up with 8 pieces of delicious original recipe chicken and sides. It's a meal that's freshly prepared every day. Court adjourned. Colonel quality guaranteed.
What if you didn't have a car payment this summer? Would you go on an amazing journey or take the road trip of a lifetime? Well, the Summers on Us sales event from Kia is back with 0 payments due for 5 months, including your first 2 months on us. Plus, get 0% financing on the stylish Optima or Optima Hybrid, named a 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, and backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So spend your savings having more summer fun. Hurry into your Kia dealer today for the Summers on Us sales event.
The leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot, and if Dexter Fowler gets a hit, Binny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicagoland Food Depository. Cubs Southwest starting lineup. Hayward and Rizzo get the day off. It's Fowler, Zobrist, Bryant, Chris playing first. Soler, Caesar, and Russell in the middle. Baez, Ross, and Lester at the bottom.
Phillies afield. Goodell, Herrera, Borges, left, center, right. So you got center field speed out there in right field. Franco, Galvis, Hernandez, Joseph, third to first. Joseph, the converted catcher. Chuch Ruiz behind the plate. Adam Morgan, the Lexus starting pitcher for the Phils.
It just started to rain. But we will play through it for now.
Called up when Charlie Morton went on the disabled list. Morgan, who had some big league time last year. Cubs actually faced him. He was 5-7 with a 448 last season. 1-2, 561.
High drive to right. Borges getting a little help from the wind, which is weird to say. Boy, around 11 o'clock this morning, as the Cubs were taking batting practice, I would have said that ball would be 10 rows into the bleachers. So here's Ben Zobrist, who turned 35 yesterday. Comes in with a 12-game hitting streak. And ball one from Morgan.
Morgan, finesse style left-hander, fastball, curve, slider, change.
Looks like his velocity up just a little bit this year. But not a guy, as you say, who has a strategy of overpowering people.
He profiles as more of a fly ball type pitcher. So I'm sure he was thrilled to see the flags settle down and start to blow in a little bit.
He is working like his hair's on fire to start this game. He gets it and throws it. Three and one to Ben Zobrist. I'm going to record that and then just save the trouble for his future at bats. I'll just play that. Now 3-2. We can do that too.
Yeah. So he was taking all the way there on 3-1. First at bat against this guy trying to get a look.
Ground ball fair. That'll extend his hitting streak to 13. And he's at second with a double.
He is putting on a clinic.
He is. 26 games now. That's his 39th hit over this stretch.
And that's a confident hitter when he lays off that 3-1 fastball and says, you know what? He knows himself so well. He knows he's not going to expand the zone. He wouldn't chase a 3-2 pitch out of the zone. So in his mind, 3-1, 3-2 feels pretty much the same. There's a lot of hitters, once they get that second strike, they're going to get a little anxious and maybe go out of the zone.
Chris Bryant now as the rain intensifies. A lot of fans heading for cover. The wind is shifting. Looks like now it's more right to left. Crew chief, by the way, is Dale Scott. He's over at third, and it's his call in terms of any sort of rain delay at this point. And you absolutely hate to stop a game in the first inning.
Yeah, and my guess is they got information that said, you know what, yeah, there's some rain coming, but it's going to move in and out quickly, so let's just go ahead and play.
Swing and a miss. Chris Bryant nearly broke up Cole Hamels' no-hitter last year on July 25th with that deep drive in the ninth inning that Odubel Herrera found a way to catch on the warning track to complete that gem.
Oh, yeah, I remember Odubel, yeah. He was twisting and turning and slipping and sliding.
Oh, we got that super slow-mo in the rain. Has already lightened up quite a bit. Up and in. 2-2.
Chris just 213 batting average against Southpaw so far this year. Not a ton of at bats. 10 out of 47. 3 long ones.
Straight away from the changeup. It's 3-2 with Jorge Soler on deck. Now the wind has stopped. So Chris Bryant has had all the seasons here in this one at bat. Fouled away.
Morgan got away with an elevated changeup there. Guarantee he didn't want to throw a belt-high changeup.
Ground backhanded neatly by Galvis. Zobrist has to hold at second. 2 outs.
Yeah, I was talking with Larry Anderson from Phillies radio earlier today, and he was talking about Galvis, and Galvis came to the big leagues as a glove first player. That's his meal ticket. But he struggled somewhat last year, so he went home this winter, worked really hard. Had his brother and dad hitting him fungos on a daily basis.
Nice road trip for Jorge Soler at 318. Couple of home runs. Played excellent defense. Base running. He had the whole deal. The backswing just caught Carlos Ruiz on the helmet. I could hear it up here.
He's a big, long guy with a big, long finish, and you see this frequently.
Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Morgan was born in Tampa, Florida. Went to high school in Marietta, Georgia. And then on to the University of Alabama. Two and one.
Third-round pick by the Phillies in 2011.
Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Have you ever seen a third base coach stand exactly where Gary Jones is? He is almost in his home dugout.
He's taking the Soler pull power into account here.
Ground ball to third. Now gets by into left. And Zobrist will score. And it's 1-0 Cubs. So Soler found a hole over there on the left side. And the Cubs get the early lead.
Cashing in the one-out double by Zobrist.
Inning alive for Matt Caesar. He gets his 6th start with Jason Hayward getting the day off. He has been a terrific part-time player. Ball left the bat. I thought it would be a fairly routine for Franco. I don't know if he got a late break on it, or if I just simply misjudged it. Maybe it's slow dirt with the rain.
Slow dirt and maybe a little extra oomph coming off the bat of Soler than in most ground balls.
104 miles an hour, the exit velocity. That base hit.
Yeah, and that's when pitchers, when they get hit around a little bit, a lot of times they say, man, I had him hitting the ball on the ground. But when they hit it on the ground 104 miles an hour, they're making pretty solid contact.
Caesar pops it up shallow right, and it's Hernandez, the second baseman. Kept his feet moving, and the inning is over. Soler gives the Cubs the lead, 1-0 after an inning.
I could get used to this.
I could get used to this.
The luxuriously transformed 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid.
I could get used to this.
Once you experience this level of luxury,
I could get used to this.
There's no going back. Lease the 2016 ES 350 for $329 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
His trip to Mars is only one way.
He is the most interesting man in the world.
Adios, amigo. Stay thirsty, my friend.
Don't miss out on big Memorial Day savings now at Lowe's. Like up to 30% off select major appliances $396 or more. Plus, get up to 24-month special financing on qualifying purchases with your Lowe's consumer credit card. Hurry in today to make your home happy at Lowe's.
Hello, beautiful. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hi, Anthony. How much does my discount double check save me?
About $150.
Done.
I don't have State Farm, but insurance, find me money.
I got you $1. Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you with unexpected savings. That's getting to a better state.
Welcome back to Wrigley with your Coors Light in-game report. Cubs on top 1-0 here in the second. We've been talking a little bit about Pete Mackanin, of course, the manager for the Phillies, and all the different places he's managed, one of which Des Moines, Iowa, guys. And Lester Strode was actually a reliever for him. He was telling me an interesting story this morning, saying he will never let me live down the time where he was pitching great in the 7th, great in the 8th. He's in the 9th. It's a very slim margin. We're in front. On an 0-2 count, he hits a batter. I pull him out of the game. Of course, they inevitably go on to lose that game. And Lester, to this day, still gives him a hard time about it. And Lester told me this morning, guys, even his wife told him that was not the right call. I should not have come out of that ball game. He should have let me finish it.
Oh, man, 3 decades later.
Right?
Not going to forget it. Thanks, Kelly.
Yep.
There's Tommy Joseph, the first baseman. And he swats one into center.
Solid single off the bat of Tommy Joseph, who was tearing it up down at AAA. He was hitting .347 and a .611 slugging percentage. Led the International League in batting average and OPS. So he's a former catcher, now playing first base.
A reminder, Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. Hopped up by Ruiz. And it's Caesar in shallow right.
Cub fans, plan now to get tickets to the matchups you want before they are gone. Tickets are still available for the homestand, especially the 4-game set with the Dodgers next week. Go to Cubs.com, get your tickets before it's too late. I would suspect Hernandez at some point today would try to drop down a bunt here against John Lester. Has 5 bunt hits already this year. It's a little bit of the wild card with Rizzo getting the day off. He is so good working with David Ross, and John Lester is shutting down the running game. And obviously Chris doesn't have a lot of experience at first base.
Ground ball up the middle and into center. So 2-hit inning for the Phillies. And it will bring up rookie Tyler Goodell, the left fielder.
Just got away from John a little bit, left it up in the zone. Usually pounds the bottom of the strike zone with ferocity.
Goodell was the first pick in the most recent Rule 5 draft. Phillies grabbed him from the Rays in December. So just 31 games into his major league career.
Started slowly, has picked it up of late.
Well, the weather experts were right. They said we're going to get a quick downpour in the bottom of the first, and then we're fine. Rain has stopped. A little low, apparently. 2-0.
Plant foot might have slipped a little bit on Lester there.
by John. Now the pitch. A fly ball out into left center. Fowler tracking, circling. He's got it for out number 2. Now the pitcher Morgan looking for his first hit. A lot of teams we've seen in the National League to start the season batting their pitcher 8th, something Joe Madden did pretty much all of last year. Has not done it this year. Ground ball to short. Russell to Zobrist. Phillies strand 2. Cubs lead 1-0 after an inning and a half.
Memorial Day weekend baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by American Sale. Visit one of American Sale's 9 Chicagoland locations or americansale.com and bring the fun home.
It's the Memorial Day sale at American Sale. Right now, get up to 50% off everything you need for your summer fun. Plus, get 0% financing for 4 years. Or get another 10% off our already low sale prices. See store for details. Lowest prices are always guaranteed. And free delivery to Chicagoland. Summer is heating up and so are the savings. The Memorial Day sale going on now at American Sale. 9 Chicagoland locations, American Sale. Bring the fun home.
Yeah, not us.
Nah, no reruns here.
Yeah, we have X1 from Xfinity.
I think we'll just stick with our TV shows.
Don't fall for DirecTV. Get 4 times more TV shows and movies on demand with Xfinity. Sign up today or get started with this great offer. Call or go online today.
Just announced from Ford. 0% financing for 60 months. And now for a limited time, get an extra $1,000 smart bonus cash on Edge and Explorer. Ford, America's best-selling brand, now with a great offer. 0% financing for 60 months and an extra $1,000 smart bonus cash. Supplies are limited, so hurry while selection is best and see your local Ford dealer today.
Cubs lead the Phillies 1-0. It is 90s visor day out of the Budweiser bleachers. You're kind of wondering if it's appropriate for you to wear it today?
I don't know what the visor with the bald guy look. I don't know how that plays.
I think it works. I got mine tightened up. Summer look. I'm told I look faster today than I did Wednesday.
The visor makes you look faster?
Wait a minute. That guy had a visor over his baseball cap. That is an error. E-fan as Russell cranks one foul.
Matty hit just a $182 on the road trip, but some better swings late. A little mini 3-game streak going, 5 out of his last 13. Morgan, he's a pretty standard issue command left-hander. Just watching him work here, tries to work that fastball in to set up a changeup away, which has been unreliable for him so far. He's elevated a few. He's thrown a couple good ones. I'll give you 4 different looks, slider and curveball to go along with that fastball changeup combination.
3-1 is tapped foul on the ground.
You know, just he looks like the kind of guy, for him to have success, he's got to have command of the changeup to get the hitters off the fastball.
Hernandez shuffling a bit to his right.
Cub fans, we want to hear from you during this afternoon's ball game. Use the hashtag Cubs Talk on Twitter. And be sure to follow at CSN Cubs all season long for the latest news on the boys in blue.
Javier Baez making his 11th start at third. He got off to a great start when he came off the disabled list, but his last 14 games, he's just 3 out of 32. And that one misses high and away for ball one. Should we do a poll, JD?
Yeah.
Bald guy visor. Is that a good look? So maybe do a profile here so they can see.
Bald guy visor with the headset.
With the headset. So
you guys should be flying a helicopter.
If you're on Twitter, you can give us a thumbs up, thumbs down. I would go thumbs up. It's a good look. I wouldn't do it for 6 hours on the golf course.
No, that wouldn't be good.
On a cloudless day,
that would
but
not be good.
Or the hole. Galvis with a beautiful play. 2 down.
Good range, good strong throw. Remember, that's Javi Baez going down the line, and he can really run. Impressive. He's only made 1 error all year.
Pitcher loves it. So far, thumbs up from everybody but one guy named Sean. So I'd say you're getting a good 90 to 95% approval rating on the bald guy visor. Joe says you look like a poker dealer. One suggestion was to add sunglasses to make
on
it really
top of the visor. Wear them up here.
Oh yeah, you could do that. Ross chased one, and that will end the Cubs inning. Big play by the shortstop Galvis, and a good visor by my partner.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. I'm attorney Howard Ankin with legendary sportscaster Steve Stone.
And I know the right team knows how to win, like Howard Ankin Law Office.
If you or someone you know needs help with an injury case, I'm here to help. Please give me a call.
Put Howard's number in your phone right now, 312-6-million.
Nobody should go to bed hungry.
That's where our friends at Benny's Beverage Depot are going to bat for the Greater Chicago Food Depository.
Every time the Cubs leadoff man gets a hit, Benny's donates $100 to help feed hungry families in Chicagoland.
That calls for a toast.
A real test isn't taken in a classroom or with a pencil. A real test is taken with your heart rate. It's measured in your breathing and with your fingertips. This might not make sense now, but it will. Ready, test, drive at your local Audi dealer today.
It's complicated. She's just dropping off my stuff.
Best-in-class cargo space plus best-in-class performance. The BMW X1. Visit your Chicagoland BMW centers today.
Today's CSN Bar of the Game, presented by Coors Light, is Bernie's Chicago. To see the complete list of the CSN Bars of the Game, presented by Coors Light, visit csnchicago.com.
Some birthday wishes to hand out. Happy 83rd to Dick Wysocki, lifelong Cub fan. And happy 61 to future Hall of Famer and the radio voice of the Cubs, Pat Hughes. They have taken the windows out in the radio booth, so summer has officially arrived.
No windows and Pat rocking the Hawaiian shirt.
Peter Borges, who was born in the Chicago area. He grew up in Arizona. Former Angel, former Cardinal. First year with the Phillies. He can scoot, and he's on first base with a leadoff single.
Third hit of the day for the Phils, all singletons, and we'll see if Borges is inclined to try to steal a base here. That's the advantage he has because of his speed. Baez plays in, protect against the bunt. Gives him a little more room to operate with on the left side of the infield.
Big lead by Borges. He's not running. Herrera takes a strike. Mentioned this earlier. John Lester and David Ross and the Cubs have turned a liability, I think, into a strength in terms of the running game against Lester.
Yeah, they've really done a nice job shutting it down this year. He's so quick to home. And you know what happens is guys will get a big lead because they know he doesn't like to throw over, and then when they add on their secondary lead to their initial lead, that's when David Ross does his thing, especially with a left-handed hitter up like he's got here. He likes that snap throw behind the left-handed hitter.
Wide open stance by Herrera as he takes ball 2, 2-1.
What a smart base runner will do is when he gets that secondary lead, he'll keep his eyes on David Ross and go aggressively back to the base. When Anthony's playing first base, you'll see him do a lot of jockeying back and forth. He'll slide out with the runner, then quick step or two back to the base, try to get in his head a little bit. You see Chris doing it a little bit, but he doesn't look quite as comfortable.
Cubs lead 1-0, top 3. We started on time, got a brief shower in the bottom of the first. We didn't take a shower, it was raining. Don't want you to take that literally. Gorgeous. And time called just as Lester was ready to fire to home. Gorgeous with an enormous lead. But he wasn't going.
No, he was going, and he certainly got John's attention, so John held the ball a long time, and finally Herrera asked for timeout. Phillies don't hit for a lot of power. They're next to last in the league in home runs. They've hit 36. They have some guys capable of stealing bases, but they have not been particularly good in that department either. They've stolen 19, but they've been caught 17 times.
That was not a good ratio. Pretty interesting. The Phillies have been outscored going into today by 31 runs. So based on their run differential, they should be well under 500. Their Pythagorean record 20-27. They're 5 over. In one-run games are 14-4. The Cubs in one-run games are 6-6. It's the blowouts. Really interesting. The Phillies are 1-7 in games decided by 5 or more. The Cubs are 17-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So there are some looking at these first 2 months statistically saying the Phillies probably are not going to be able to sustain it unless that run differential changes drastically.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be able to sustain it. That one-run win thing, I think that's a function of luck in a lot of ways. I don't think that's a skill set. That's not to say you can't be lucky for an extended period of time. Remember that Baltimore club a couple of years ago?
Right. Their bullpen helps in that regard, but yeah, it's tough to maintain that. Galvis shows bunt.
And when you don't score runs and they don't score many, you're going to play, and if you pitch well, you're going to play a lot of low-run games. And I just don't think their bullpen is. I mean, it's been good, but it.
Fowler over into left center, and he dropped it. And Borges, who had gotten basically to second base, was ready to head back to first. And now everybody moving up and everybody safe.
Wow.
There'll be 2 errors on that play.
I'm guessing Dexter took a peek a little bit to find the base runner. Wondering if he made. No, he didn't take a peek. He just dropped the ball.
So it'll be E8 on the ball Galvis hit. E5 allowing the runners to advance. Cubs will play their infield back here with 1 out against Franco. He might miss some time as he just took a huge hack as he left early on Wednesday with a sprained right ankle. He suffered sliding into second base, but with the off day yesterday, right back in the lineup today.
Coming off an outstanding rookie year, 280 batting average, 14 home runs. Just 23 years of age.
Big cut and a miss, 0-2.
Punched him out last time. Love to keep it out of play here.
Borges at third, Galvis at second. 0-2. Caesar getting behind it. Borges ready to tag. Here comes the throw to the plate. And we're tied 1-1 on a sacrifice fly by Maikel Franco.
Well, not a bad try with 2 strikes. Elevated fastball, hoping to get a swing and miss. Franco able to get a piece of it, hit it deep enough to right field to score the speedy Borges. situation, you're thinking strikeout, you're going to bounce a breaking ball or elevate the fastball. They went with plan B. And Franco will chase that pitch. This time he's able to do something with it.
Joseph with a single in the second. Just his 10th major league game today. Came up earlier this month.
Galvis with a little sprint down the third base line, got John Lester's attention.
Yeah, the general theory is left-handed pitchers should not pitch from the windup with a runner at third. Are you that way?
I usually went to the windup.
Not that a lot of guys steal home, but do you have anybody ever attempt a straight steal of home on you?
Not that I recall. Cubs did it here when Don Zimmer was managing the first and third deal. So I guess it was in retrospect. I guess it would have been considered a straight steal home. What he did was he had runners on first and third. And me being a left-hander, he had the guy on first break early with hopes of drawing a throw there, and then the guy would sprint over there. But I kind of sniffed it out, and I didn't go to first. And so I hurried my delivery home, I think the umpire blew the call, but he was ruled safe.
I love the disclaimer. I think he got it wrong. No replay then. Here's replay review. Called strike 3, inning over, but they tie it up. Unearned run.
Why is Hyundai calling its Memorial Day sales event better than ever? Because better than everyone would just be rubbing it in. And right now, Hyundai is making 2016 better than ever with no monthly payments for 6 months.
Create the perfect outdoor living space with Menard's large selection of landscape blocks. Pick up smooth patio blocks in red or gray, only 88 cents each. Get more choices, more colors, and satisfaction guaranteed with Cabot exterior wood care products. Cabot offers the best finishes and protection for any exterior wood surface. Save $7 a gallon. That's $35 on 5-gallon pails. Create your own beautiful outdoor living space. And don't forget Father's Day. Pick up a gift card.
Save big money at Menards.
What would we be without our mountains? Without the things that stand in our way, that make us better? At Coors, our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. Lagered, filtered, and packaged cold. Our mountains make us who we are. Your mountains make you who you are. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
What's better about Hyundai's Better Than Ever sales event? This, and this. Hurry in today and lease the Tucson for $179 a month or the Santa Fe Sport for $249 a month.
Weeknights, don't miss Sports Talk Live on Comcast Sportsnet. David Kaplan leads a roundtable on the day's hottest topics, interviews Chicago's biggest stars, and interacts with you at home. Sports Talk Live, presented by Chevy Silverado, tonight at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
We are back. Big strikeout to end the inning, and you see Galvis was taking some liberties down that third baseline. You see John Lester on the way off, kind of giving him the business like, you're taking liberties on me, man. Good. He's feeling a little crispy today after a short outing last time.
And he will lead it off. An unearned tally. And we're tied at 1. Called strike. Fowler and Zobrist also do. Missed the breaking ball that time. Morgan, 26 years old, 6'1", 200 pounds. He strikes out Lester. This Monday is Memorial Day, and the Cubs will battle the Dodgers at 4:05 p.m. Up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans will get a Ryne Sandberg retired number flag presented by Pepsi. For more information and ticket availability, visit Cubs.com. Fowler flied to right in the first, and that one deflects off the glove of Franco right to the shortstop. Galvis makes the play. 5-6-3.
Wasn't that fancy. Tough break for Fowler. Hit it sharply. Galvis right there to handle that deflection. And plenty of arm to get Dexter.
That's a strike. 0-2 on Ben. Little swinging bunt. Ruiz. And Zobrist not only safe, but he's going to head for 2. He's there with 2 outs.
It'll go as a base hit and then an error on Ruiz. Tries to make a heroic play, falling to his backside. Gets plenty on this throw, but sails it a little bit.
The Zobrist 2 for 2. Thing is, he might have had him with a good throw. So that gives Bryant a chance with a runner at second and 2 outs. Second career start at first. He made 1 last year. He has played 5 different positions defensively already in the big leagues. Corner spots on the infield and all 3 outfield spots.
Shutting down the running game, a point of emphasis for Pete Mackanin this spring. You see his pitchers throw over a fair bit, will step off. And they ran wild on Carlos Ruiz last year. He's been way better than average so far this year. And, you know, he's in a part-time role now. He's an older guy, been around the league a long time. So Ruiz a little fresher, not playing quite as often.
Center field. And it is Herrera just down to the warning track to end the inning. 3 in the books. Cubs 1, Phillies 1.
The biggest party of the summer is now the #1 movie in America.
Could you enunciate that a little bit?
Don't miss the movie Rolling Stone calls an eye-popping animated joyride. It's this year's Lego movie.
Humble my bird butt.
Language.
The Angry Birds movie, rated PG.
Taking the hassle out of yard work just got even easier. During the Echo National Sales Event, get a pro-grade Echo trimmer or handheld blower for only $149.99 each. Backed by a 5-year warranty. But hurry, these deals will be gone before you know it. So take back your yard with Echo.
More lemonade, please.
Vacation's over. Welcome back.
Put the vacation back in summer. Enjoy a medium McCafe lemonade for $2, medium frappe or smoothie for $3, or any size sweet tea or soft drink for just $1 at McDonald's.
Number 17, Chris Bryant. Fastball killer. Middle of the order masher. Turning a 100-mile-per-hour heater into a bleacher-bound bomb. Cubs, Dodgers, Wednesday at 7 on CSN.
Tonight, turn to CSN for the most comprehensive Chicago sports news show in town. We'll recap today's game, plus preview tonight's matchups from around the league. Don't miss Sportsnet Central tonight at 6:30 on CSN Chicago.
Away partner, based on the Twitter reaction to your visor earlier, you can expect in the mail probably 10 to 12 visors with the hairpiece built in. So. One strike on Ruiz. 11th major league season, 37 years old. He and Ryan Howard, the only two remaining Phillies from that long NL East dynasty run.
Yeah, and that was the challenge, right, for Ruben Amaro Jr., who's no longer the general manager with the Phillies, but you had so many iconic players there. They had all that success, and when do you make that transition? And most outside observers would say they wait a little too long.
As to Bryant.
Sign up for the Chicago Cubs baseball summer camps presented by ATI Physical Therapy and Ideal Industries. Young sluggers ages 5 to 13 will suit up in Cubs gear, meet a current Cub player during a VIP Wrigley Field visit, and receive top-notch baseball instruction around the Chicagoland area. Cubs.com/kids to enroll. But, you know, you're selling out the ballpark every day. Your television ratings are through the roof. You've got these players that are beloved in the city. You can understand why, you know, they hung on as long as they did.
Pete McCannon might grab some White Castle after the game. And on your advice, needs to apparently mix in a salad. Not that he looks like he needs to. It was more based on his Chicago
he's just
preferences.
He's just going to splurge while he's here in town. But it's just funny to hear that interview he did with Kelly, and he was talking about the pizza and the dogs and sausage.
Strikeout number 5 for John Lester, and here's Goodell.
Shouldn't White Castle have a burger called a hanging slider?
Be great. Swing and a miss. I'm Jim Deshays. I used to throw a lot of hanging sliders. You can enjoy 2 for. Always good to see the human slider. Larry Anderson.
Yeah, speaking of.
Phillies radio broadcaster. Lester's pitch. Awkward swing by Goodell. Up, and he was able to tap it foul.
Now Goodell, it's spelled differently than Eddie Goodell, the vertically challenged player that Bill Veeck ran up there for pinch hit appearance so many years ago.
ball hard hit, and Zobrist just can't get it. So 2-out single for Goodell. And we'll get the pitcher to the plate.
See Ben slap his glove in frustration. The ball was sharply hit. Had he been able to glove it, he might have had a fighting chance at Goodell. Would not have been an easy play. So correctly ruled a base hit. Warm, muggy day here. Probably didn't take these pitchers long to get heated up this afternoon.
I was talking with Chris Bosio about the weather. Even though as it heats up it should favor the offense, he said he's got a couple guys who don't mind the cold weather, but by and large baseball players in general like it warm. As you say, easier to get loose on a day like this. As Morgan strikes out, the inning is over. Cubs bat in the fourth and a 1-1 tie.
They say an old-fashioned is served in a 10-ounce glass with a maraschino cherry and an orange slice. Actually, it's served in a room with a brick fireplace and a deer head mounted on the wall by a waitress named Diane. This is a Wisconsin supper club. When you're having fun, we're having fun.
I could get used to this.
I could get used to this.
The luxuriously transformed 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid.
I could get used to this.
Once you experience this level of luxury,
I could get used to this.
there's no going back. Lease the 2016 ES 350 for $329 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
Pizza is perfect. Pizza with bacon cheeseburger on it, way, way more perfect.
Papa's Bacon Cheeseburger Pizza is back. And try our new Mushroom Swiss Burger Pizza. Just $10 each for a large.
PapaJohns.com.
Closed captioning of Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by U.S. Waterproofing.
A little seepage in your basement is no need to panic. Count on the experts at U.S. Waterproofing to diagnose and repair the problem. For a free consultation, call 888-SEEPAGE or visit seepage.com.
Time now for our Xfinity high-speed action. This was last Friday in San Francisco. Jorge Soler with two excellent catches. This one off Buster Posey early. Maybe the defensive play of the game, and that was, I believe, in the same inning as the Hayward catch on which Jason got hurt. But that could have knocked in a couple.
Yeah,
might have been his best overall game as a major leaguer.
Had a real nice night, and he's shown signs of improvement at the plate here too. In recent games, getting more playing time. That's obviously key to get into a rhythm both in the batter's box and in the field. And he's not going to win any Gold Gloves, but improved play out there. Whole key to that, I think, a lot of it is playing deep too.
That has helped Dexter Fowler in terms of his defensive rating with an error today. But the Pat Hughes fan club.
Mahalo.
There's the 1-0. That was an awkward swing by Soler. 1-1. They fit right in with that group. That was a good summer look.
Taking a little time here to clean his spikes as Soler regroups after that big swing. I'm not sure what's going on with Jorge. Oh, a little wardrobe malfunction there with the chain.
The inside corner. 1-2.
Oh yeah, I could rock that look.
Hey, by the way, happy belated anniversary. Your first major league win came 30 years ago yesterday.
Thank you.
Soler cranks it deep to left. Way out of here, off the board. 2-1.
Morgan got away with some elevated changeups back in the first couple innings of this game. He'd settled in, was making quality pitches with it, but this is a little bit of a hanger. And boy, did Soler ever get into that one. My goodness, this ball is crushed. It's not a changeup, it's a breaking ball. Mid-thigh, inner half. Take a look at that swing.
And hit the bottom part of the video board in left, or it would have ended up on Waveland. Our Ford home run replay. That's why you were real happy wearing the visor in the picture. You saw a home run coming. Caesar and fouled back. What do you remember most about your first major league win?
That if I didn't pitch well that day, I was probably going to be sent to the minor leagues.
Really?
Yeah, I was getting towards the end of May. I was the 5th guy in the rotation, so I think I'd been skipped a couple of times. And my previous start was against the Cardinals as well. That one didn't go quite as good.
So that was a big win.
It was a day where I needed to pitch well.
Goodell retires Caesar. We did send in the video replay to New York on that play at the plate we were talking about, and the call stands.
Call stands?
Yeah. 30 years later. So I think it was lack of HD. Just couldn't get
a little blurry.
Good look. Strike to Russell.
Well, Joe Madden puts Soler in the cleanup spot, and he goes deep.
A 108-mile-an-hour exit velocity for Soler at 461 feet. The estimated distance, according to StatCast, might be the longest Cub home run this year.
Wasn't the longest Arrieta's?
Oh yeah, forget
that one in
James.
Arizona.
Was his?
I don't think it was that far, but I think it might have been the longest Cub home run prior to that one. What did the kid for the Rangers do the other day?
491, I think. Omar Mazzara.